Good afternoon, people, peepettes. It's just your madman. Hope you're alright. Weather screwed me. It was dead warm this morning when I took that bag out for his walk. Proper sweaty. So I thought, I've got to go to, this is what the video's about, I've got to go to Alison House again for 2 o'clock, so I just set off. I've come out, I've just got a t-shirt and this very thin puffer weekend jacket on, and well, although the sun's just come out and it just feels a little bit warmer, there's a little bit of a nip in the air, so you never know. I might have to wait some time in the pub after I've finished just to warm through a little bit. So take my life in my hands down this road. So some of you will have seen, and some of you will know off my other socials and shit, and some of you might even have bored of one of it this past week, 2 weeks or so, but we've not been in a great place. Me and him, we've had issues with Alison House with Navigo. A couple of weeks ago I went to get some meds, get me antipsychotics and my antipsychotics and the side effect meds. I eventually got my antidepressants from the doctor, but that was a long thing all in all. But yeah, Alison House, Navigo, the mental health team, the go-to people when you're in a shit place, yeah? The ones that I've never trusted, and I opened up again for back in April, May time last year. And everything had been going swimmingly. Then over the Christmas period, there was a cock up with some medication somewhere along the way. And got to second week of January. So this has been going on for a few weeks now. Got to about end of second week of January. And I went to pick my I'd ordered them online. No, not online, sorry, on the phone. And I went to pick them up from the chemist a few weeks back now. And there was none. So I had to go into Alison House actually the next day. So when I was in the next day, I asked again, and they said, yeah, Anyway, didn't happen, and I was ringing up, I'm like, look, I've got no medication, my antipsychotics have all gone. Excuse me. I said I need something sorting. It was only, not last week, week before, I think, yeah. Well, it was the end of the week before, and running into last week, that I got told the reason they hadn't prescribed it is because for some reason they hadn't got any orders in, so the doctor thought I was stockpiling. That goes to an old issue. When I assured them that I wasn't, there was a massive row over the phone last week. Went into a massive meltdown, a massive breakdown, cost me a new telly because my old one didn't last, should we say. So I ended up having to go back in last week, and I went in. I eventually calmed down enough. We decided we was going to go in and try and be placid, but one of us turned up and one of us didn't. We went in and we sat down, and they said, we can't just put you back on it, you need to come back in again, or they said you need to have your bloods taken and ECGs and weights and stuff, because they have to work out the correct dosage or some such gubbins, because it's the stronger the dosage, obviously the worse the side effects, so they want to try and keep it on a level. So hence, that's where I'm going now. I'm going back to Alison House. I don't know how many times I've said for the last time, but they kind of backed me in a corner and said if I didn't go and get the ECGs and the blood done, I won't be on any medication. And the come down and the come off of a medication is always far worse than when they put you on it in the first place. It always seems to be twice as bad, sorry. So they kind of put me in a no-win situation. And if I didn't want to have a breakdown and cost at least more TVs, if not worse, could have happened, I have had to back down and say I'll go in again to be medicated. I'd rather not be medicated, I'd rather just be alright, but that's not likely to happen now. 53 in a couple of months, so 53? Yeah, 53 in a couple of months. So there's not much chance of me being alright ever again. If I ever was. I probably wasn't. But yeah, so I'll do it this way round. I thought I'd do it this way round and let you know that I was going to Navigo again. I've succumbed again. But seriously, they said to me one day last week when I went in, they said, oh, said something, I went, oh yeah, well, I've just had to buy a new telly. And they says, why? I said, oh, because it got scopped out the window from the first floor flat over that I'm in. And they said, oh, what caused that? I said, you did. They went, what? I went, Navigo did. And she was like, what? I said, fucking about, well, meds. I said, you've just unleashed, like, the madman. You've literally just unleashed the madman by taking his comfort blanket, the one thing that rolled him down. They went, oh, well, fucking cars don't know how to fucking indicate down here. There was like, oh, well, come down next week and we'll do your bloods and your ECGs and we'll try and get you back on it. So here goes. So for all the lovers, all the haters, I'm back on the big road again, but I am exhausted. They don't realise, and the people that don't have mental breakdowns and whatever, or psychotic episodes, which I had, people who don't have them don't realise how fucking exhausting they are to have. It takes days away from you. I can't remember what I've done after days. I can't remember last time I actually had a proper thing to eat at home. So yeah, it's people, like I say, people don't realise how it's physically exhausting, not just mentally, physically and emotionally. It takes everything away from you, which is, like I say, and it makes you more susceptible to things like flu and cold and general aches, and you know, it doesn't help my fibro or whatever. So that is why I've had to cow down and say, yes, I'll come in like a good little boy and do all the shit you want me to again. But it's seriously getting harder and harder to go back. So anyway, like I said, like I always say, take care, look after yourselves, look after your friends, your elders, your neighbours, your relatives, look after anybody you got around your table, anybody you talk to near and far, and as a whole, look after somebody, or just say hello to somebody nicely that you see in the street. When I was walking dog this morning, there was a real old lady, nice posh looking old lady, you know what they are, and she had like a little spaniel-y thing, like I say, a posh looking dog, and she let my dog, she's the only person, she was in her, I'd say she was in the 70s or 80s, and the little dog was like a little princess thing, you can see it was a princess, and she actually let my dog, she said, oh, is your dog friendly? Because we were trying to stand out of the way, because he likes to sniff and that. I said, yes. She went, oh, let him come up and say hello. Next thing, my dog's trying to hump this little spaniel-y thing or spring or whatever, and the old lady's going, oh, we'll just go sit down and have a coffee and leave him to it, shall we? Yeah, I'm like, all right. So I don't know what sort of dog that would have come out like, but I moved him on. So yeah, like, hey, and that just made my day. So that's what I was alluding to when I say, that's the sort of thing I allude to when I say, oh, if you see somebody in the street that just looks a bit down on the haunches, just say hello, ask me, you know, you all right, mate, whatever. More importantly, take care of yourself. Remember the empty cup you can't pour from. Stay safe, stay proud and loud. Peace.